again, folks. It's your boy, Alex Jones, here to tell you we are making an effort. We're on YouTube.
This is embarrassing. There's people working in the house with the window open.
We're putting up the Tuesday video 1 week later. It's going to be up on Mondays a week after it went up. Well, I guess that's not technically a week. It's a day short of a week, but it's up there. We're also on Instagram. We're going clip crazy over there at Backyard Hang. TikTok, same thing. And then also, I'm going to sneak this in here, folks. About a month or two ago, we said, hey, we got a good friend of the pod, Sally Brooks. She wrote a book called Going to Maine, and it was out. Well, guess what? It is still out, and it is still good. Get to your local bookstore. Get to your iPad, your iPod. Go to Amazon.com. Buy this book. It's good. I just finished it. I'm ashamed to say.
We get a paid ad from Sally this week?
I just finished the book. It's fresh on my mind. I wanted to tell people, go get this book. Go into Maine. It'll warm your heart. It'll bring a tear to your eye. What a read.
It'll bring a laugh to your belly, too.
A laugh straight to your belly. Get over there and enjoy the show.
Good morning.
What's up, dudes?
We're talking candles.
You know what? Do you think we could, without affecting the quality of the podcast, do a little lower of a volume?
I got one speed, baby, and you are looking at it.
I got people in the house working. I don't think that they're regular listeners.
Jobs.
People doing manual labor.
You think they're starstruck at all?
I think so.
I think they're annoyed that they're still here.
They go, is that Mama Needs a Beer guy out there? We got to check him out.
I put this on because it's election day.
Mama needs
a
a
good
beer.
Election day hat, don't you think?
Yeah.
We
Mama
are
needs a beer
in the future now.
Yeah, it's coming.
This is
gone.
being recorded on election
Came and
day.
went. This guy's out of the country.
Yeah, we're recording this on election day, but you're listening to it as the Capitol burns to the ground.
Okay. Well, we don't know what happened. Could be. They could, they could have built it back up by now.
No, that's right.
Happening.
We're recording early because our man, Tommy Johnagin, about to take a vacation.
Well,
I'm going to go see this London, Prague everybody's talking about.
We put it in context. He's not going on vacation. He's fleeing.
He's fleeing. Yeah.
Fleeing the country.
He's getting out while he can.
Yeah. Andy's driving you to the airport. Andy's winning Good Guy of the Year award.
Winning good. We're dropping Everett off at tennis.
Seems like we're running a few errands.
In Tommy's world,
on the way.
You shouldn't be doing this. He should be taking an Uber.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought it would be a good way for us to get a podcast in.
Well, that's true. I'm not anti you taking him, but he's anti someone taking him to the airport that he's not paying to do it. So,
well, I will accept money.
Yeah, just
here's
tip
what
him.
I'm anti asking for a ride. I don't know that I've ever said I'm anti accepting an offer.
No, you're anti accepting an offer. You should be allowed to ask for a ride. Hey, I don't want to sit in the car with a stranger.
I agree, though. You could ask for a ride from your wife, from your partner, from your spouse. You can't ask for a ride from anyone else.
Is that a pumpkin beer you got in there?
No, it's not. It's a probiotic soda.
It's
probiotic pop. No, it's not Poppy. Poppy.
Harper counts those if you took one of hers. I'll tell you that much right now.
Is that right?
Like an addict.
Does she really? I'm not. Poppy's good. I'm an Olipop man, though. I got into the prebiotic pop game through Olipop, and I'm sticking with the brand I came
Here's
with.
the thing that
I'll tell you why I prefer Olipop to Poppy.
That's what he was going to ask.
Sugar or no sugar?
You. No, not depending on the sugar. There is some sugar in it. Here's the reason why I think Olipop is better. It needs to be refrigerated. That makes me think there's like some real stuff.
There's actual biotics.
Wait a second. Are you saying poppies don't need to be refrigerated?
Poppies, you go to the grocery store, they're just on the shelf.
Poppies are like
Olipop's only in the refrigerator.
I think that's like all drinks, right? They need to be refrigerated after they're refrigerated.
No. Some stuff
you can't get an
they
Olipop?
don't sell it. Well, they just recently started doing like these.
Is there milk in it?
No, but there's like cultures
maybe milk
or something,
in it.
right? I don't know what's in
cultures,
there.
yeah.
But they just recently Olipop released like these are shelf stable. These don't have to be refrigerated.
Wow.
Those aren't the ones I buy.
I don't want them.
I'm getting the ones that need to be refrigerated the whole time.
Pack it up.
That's the
You
ones
know
I
what?
want.
It
makes me think
these Koyas I drink, right?
they're good for you.
These Koyas they got to be refrigerated. Then they just started selling them in cardboard that you can order and have them shipped to you. It makes me think they maybe did something like you're saying, where they said, hey, we can do it.
Or they're trying to get them in a cafeteria.
You were asking what the difference between a prebiotic and a probiotic is, right?
No, because I know.
Yeah.
I don't have to say it out loud.
This idiot doesn't know.
Because I know.
No, but what's a pro?
Pro, I don't know exactly what the difference is.
But this drink is pre.
These drinks are prebiotics, yeah.
Primes the environment for your gut bacteria to grow.
Oh.
Probiotic is, I believe, the actual gut bacteria that you need to have.
That
I
sounds pretty
believe
good.
that's what's
So
happening.
prebiotic does primes it for what?
For a healthy environment for gut bacteria to grow.
That my kid's drinking this.
Yeah, they're both good. And feel free to write in and tell me I'm wrong because I'm not 100% confident, but I believe that's what's going on.
I'm gonna run a scenario by you. Tell me who's wrong in this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I got this Poppy Counting 12-year-old in there.
Mm-hmm.
She's, her favorite flavor is watermelon.
How high can she count?
She as many as I can bring. She only, they only sell these watermelons that I've found at the stores we go to individually. And every once in a while they'll say, "Hey, we got a special 4 for this, or 5 for that." So I'll get the 4 packs of the other ones because they're cheaper, and then I'll pop in some of these watermelons on a deal. They're in the fridge. We got 4 strawberry lemons, and we got 1 watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
Harper's friend is over, and she goes, "Do you want a Poppy?" And the kid go, "Hell yeah, I want a Poppy. What flavor you got?" Oh. Harper goes, "We got strawberry lemon."
Oh.
And then the kid goes, "You got watermelon?" She's like, "We got strawberry lemon." And I go, "Give her the watermelon." And she's like, "But it's my favorite." And then I go, "But you only got one. She's a guest. Give her the one she wants." And she was like, "Can we just have water?" And I'm like, "Well, no, we're not doing that. What are you doing?" So I get it, and I give her friend the last watermelon. But it was a moment where I was like, maybe I shouldn't be involved. Like, I am overly involved in kids. I recognize that there's times where I'm like, I should just let this play out. I should just let them be there. They are good people. But I was like, this is a guest. Then, after the kid leaves, I got to sit and watch a whole freaking sketch about here's how daddy is when there's a guest. Harper, you're eating trash. Guest, you can have sushi. And
they did a sketch for you?
It's basically an act out with her and her sister about how dad is when guests are over. I was like, I don't know that's the...
Treats the guest better than...
Yeah. But that's the thing, right? You're treating the guests... I remember when I stayed at my buddy's house, his dad beat the shit out of him. Didn't touch me.
You got the red carpet treatment. It's exactly the same.
Yeah, you always got to treat the guest. Is that no longer popular?
I don't know that it's normal. I don't know it's everywhere.
No, I the guest gets the first pick of the cake.
I think she's a child and you're an adult, where it's like she gave voice to how we all feel inside when you have a guest over. You're like, well, I did want that, but you're a guest. You can have it. I'm trying to be nice. Where I think she just, hasn't developed the filter to be like, okay, I'll keep that inside. You can have it. And you have. Where I think that's what's happening here.
I mean, I'm also someone that, her Poppy is... I have things in my life at 41 years old that are my Poppies that if I had one mini $100,000 bar in that candy dish in there, I would be bummed if I went in and I just saw you eating it.
But would you let me have it, or would you?
Of course I'd let you have it.
There you go.
And you just sadly watch him eat it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd try to palm. If I saw it before you saw it, if you don't know it's there,
you would hide it.
I will tell you what. Now, Andy and I, armed with this knowledge, we're going to eat these $100,000 right in front of you.
I don't even know if I like them. What's in that?
Dude, I'll tell you, $100,000, in my opinion, most underrated candy bar.
Sounds like too many peanuts, in my opinion.
There's no peanuts in it.
What is there 100,000 of?
Do you think there's 100,000 something in there?
Yeah.
I've never even thought of that.
Sounds like too many calories.
There's 100,000 calories in it. Very few $100,000 this Halloween. It was an underwhelming amount of $100,000.
Even fewer York peppermint patties.
Alex,
I didn't see a single York peppermint patty.
Have you ever got a York peppermint patty taking these kids?
Couple times, yeah, once or twice.
York peppermint patty doesn't feel like a Halloween candy. York peppermint patty belongs like in a dish at a restaurant.
Yeah,
or coming out, but it doesn't seem like a Halloween candy.
At the register at a Skyline Chili's where you can find them.
He eats one a day.
I ate one a day.
Aware
I walked
of this?
to Ralph's.
I don't think I knew that you ate one a day.
I walk to Ralph's. It's my little walk. It's my little me time, and I get a big one, about $1. Yeah, and then I eat it on the walk.
By your ear? That used to be a popular thing. When I was young.
No, this does sound nice.
You crack it by your ear and it goes.
Yeah, it's
what are you paying? $1?
I'm paying about $1. Sometimes they go on sale.
What are the calories? 240?
It's higher than you want for sure, but I'm burning it on the walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm coming out even on the whole deal.
The top of that Griffith Park hike.
Now here's what's crazy: no York peppermint patties, but one hand warmer. One hand warmer was given out on Halloween, and 2 packs of stale peach rings. Hard to the touch. Had to go straight in trash.
Somebody brought that was old candy. Also, have we done this since the trick or treating?
No.
I mean, now we're a month removed from trick or treating, but we'll talk about just because it's
Alex's
fresh.
costume.
Well, do the rundown here real quick.
I forgot.
We haven't even touched that
we got to get
rundown.
into shout outs. We got shout outs. We got a what would you do? We got a could you rather. Also, Tommy hit on a guy. We're going to hear about that.
I can't wait.
We'll start off with these shout outs.
Why don't you go first because you already dipped your toe in the water.
Here's my shout out. It's on our Patreon. Thanks for being a Patreon member. This one comes from Jared Bennett. This is an episode that we released on Halloween. It wasn't necessarily a Halloween episode. We're just trying to get ahead because I was out of town on a normal recording day. Jared Bennett says, not going to lie, kind of disappointed. Alex is the only one who dressed up for Halloween.
Alex just in his normal clothes.
They weren't my normal clothes.
Normal clothes.
It's not the big, nasty burn you guys think it is. They weren't my normal clothes. It was my softball uniform. And he's disappointed in you guys for not wearing anything. At least I dressed out of the ordinary.
Here's the thing. It's unless you call it a softball costume, it wasn't. It was more
very
of a
fine line between costume and uniform. Very fine line.
Also, I mean, the big debate on the podcast here is this guy making fun of you or not? And Andy and I are like, certainly this guy's making fun of you.
No, he doesn't know that it wasn't a costume. He thought I was in costume. I was in my softball uniform. So and I was the only one that looked different. He's mad at you guys. I was the only one that, seemed to embrace the spirit of the occasion.
This is like some young Sheldon level of, he just thinks you're making a friend.
It's a very successful show.
If he wasn't making fun of you, it might be funnier.
No, it's not funny. It's not a great burn.
If he wasn't making fun of you, that means you're dressed in a costume.
No, this is how it's a good burn. Is if this episode goes live and they go, "Oh, I love Tommy's costume," then that's a burn.
No,
I dressed different than I normally dress on Halloween.
But
someone
not
would go,
dressed up for Halloween.
But of course, he's dressed in a costume. He doesn't look how he normally looks.
That's bananas.
And Andy's wearing a Mama Needs a Beer hat right now. I mean, what are we even doing?
I mean, it's because it's election day.
It's close.
Well,
I'd say you're closer to a costume than any of us.
Rolling down my
He's
face.
always in a fun hat. This guy wears fun hats.
He does wear fun hats. I mean, I wore a fun hat for years and, didn't know people were talking bad about me.
Oh, I'm going to get a hat. I'm going to maybe get a hat when I'm gone, baby.
I can't wait to see the hat you come back
and bring back a box,
Alex, do you have a watermelon poppy at your house?
I don't have any poppies in my house. Oh, like you're saying.
You don't understand the question.
I got there, Andy. I got there before you said something. Okay, so once you back
Tommy's
up.
is $100,000 bar.
I have a plain seltzer from Kroger. Just a Kroger seltzer water. They're only mine.
Poor guy.
I have one every night. I have
should we play that sad music from the dog commercials?
I'm not going to hit the trombone for myself. It's my thing.
What's the music I'm thinking of?
You guys are acting like Poppies. There's some great champagne of beers over here.
No,
Arms of an Angel or something?
Yeah, Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah, can we play Sarah McLachlan after you tell her that your thing is a plain seltzer?
It's a plain Kroger seltzer and an Uncrustable. I have an Uncrustable and a plain seltzer while I sit there and watch a show at the end of the evening. If I were to go in the kitchen and there was and Maura had drank or had the last Uncrustable, I'll be upset about it.
How long you been eating Uncrustables?
Sam Evans, we're training for this marathon, and he was like, you know what I started doing? I put an Uncrustable in my pocket. I have it about mile 10 or 12. Gives me just the boost I need. So I tried it. He's right. It's a great little treat deep into a run.
But you're just having it on the sofa.
But now they're
How long you been doing it? How long you been doing it?
I'm gonna have about 2 a day. I've been doing a little over a month, maybe a month and a half.
I've been doing it longer.
Okay,
you're eating an Uncrustable every day too.
I mean, my Uncrustable story it doesn't involve me running 10 miles. Which I feel like just this guy in the talk about running. Jesus Christ,
really
even a fucking peanut butter sandwich goes back. But mine starts with Uncrustables, which I don't know if we talked about this in the podcast or real life, but NFL teams ate like 80,000 Uncrustables last year. It's a big thing. It's worked its way in the athlete community. They sell them at Harp's gym. So they're selling there. And she's like, every day she's like, oh, we have maybe a little break. She grabs one. I mean, I think I'm paying whatever. They're overcharging us. So I start just having Uncrustables in the fridge here. She takes them to the gym. I start dumping them in her lunch. We're grooving. It's such an easy lunch thing. I try not to do it too often, but I pushed it, and she had like a few too many, and she goes, I don't want to eat Uncrustables anymore.
What? Done. Too many.
Just so happens the day before she said she doesn't want to eat Uncrustables anymore, the grocery store by us was running a huge special, and I had 40 or 60 of them in the fridge. She's the only person in the house that eats them. So then I was like, all right, I guess I do it. I've been having an Uncrustable once a day for school started in August. Like right after school started, she shut down on them.
You're hooked now. You're buying another box.
Yeah, I mean, they're great.
I'll
it's
tell
a great
you this.
treat, dude.
Here's the weird thing about them is that, I'm not trying to. Everything's about counting calories.
No
they
crust.
have one that you buy from the store that is 190 calories. Then there's another one just in a large. It comes in a larger quantity or reverse that's 210 calories. Then the ones you buy individually are like 320. Like they vary in
Sums
size.
up, dude.
So weird.
Different sizes, huh?
Yeah, we started getting them from Costco. We get bulk
You
purchase.
just tradish grape.
Just tradish grape. Get the strawberry horse shit out of there. Costco.
There's one in the fridge right now.
In the fridge?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I took
Do
you want it?
Piece of shit.
Do you want it?
You bad guy.
It's been in there for 2 days, which maybe the jelly's starting to soak into the bread a little too much.
Oh, Mama needs an Uncrustable.
Should I bring Uncrustables out right now?
Yeah, dude.
No,
get
no.
the Uncrustables.
Hey, you guys like tamales?
Yeah, I like tamales.
I got freshly made tamales in there.
Oh,
Anyway,
You made tamales?
yeah, somebody else made them. But did you tell him what you dressed up as Halloween at our house when you came over?
So yeah, I went as.
It was going to be a surprise.
Well, my whole costume was I was just going to gaslight Everett. So I got I got a wig because she's always talking about how bald I am. So I got a wig.
Yeah.
And I told everybody I was dressing up as something. So I got a wig. I put that on. And then when I got here, my plan was they were going to be like, what are you? And I go, oh, I ran out of time. I just didn't dress up as anything. And they'd be like, well, what's on your head? I'd be like, oh, I just stopped shaving my head. I'm not wearing a hat. So that's probably why you think it's weird. And just not ever acknowledge that I was wearing a wig. But first thing happens is that Harper comes in before I see him or Everett. And she goes, what are you? And I go into my bit and she goes, are you my dad? Where the wig I got looks a lot like Tommy's hair. Where when she said that, I was like, oh, fuck, that would have been such a better costume. I really fumbled the bag.
Whenever I picture a wig, I picture long hair. I didn't even picture
No, he did. He did like a subtle.
A regular guy.
It was called the Dapper Man.
I do wonder how many people saw you and just didn't think that
Did it look
you
good?
were anything.
Was it
No.
more toupee
Do you have a
than
photo?
wig?
Mora does. She is, I don't have any. I look like Rob Blagojevich or whatever that guy's name was, where it was just this big, like kind of.
I lived really close to him.
Is that right?
Like during the scandal, and there was always news out in front of his house. One time, my dad
You
was
got
visiting.
on TV, right?
Yeah, my dad was. We're walking around, and the news guys are like, "What do you think about what's?" And my dad and I are on the news.
Oh,
in
is that
Chicago.
right?
Yeah.
Didn't you plug your show?
I plug my show at Davies.
They put that in?
I don't know if it got on the air or not.
It was
Maybe it
live.
did. Let's say it did.
Oh, man.
So you just say, like, what do you think? And you're like, oh, the security and the cops. And then you were like, it's hard for me to get you. I feel like I remember you did it like very well.
It makes parking hard in the neighborhood because it's blocking off a lot of parking in the neighborhood. I think, you're remembering the story better than me. Yeah,
because the way I remember
it feels safe. These police all over the place.
You did say it feels safe, and then you were like, it just makes getting around more difficult. Like I'm trying to go to my shows tonight through Sunday at Zany's, where I'll be performing live, and then they get onto it. But he like really worked it in nicely.
Well done, Andy. Well,
what'd you think? This trick or treating went off because the plans went off. Were you guys annoyed?
No, I fucked up by not making sure Maura had more to eat before we left the house.
So she was hangry?
She was a little hangry, but then
we got fed.
But once we got fed, everything was fine. But
what did you guys have? Candy?
Well,
Prince Street Pizza.
Had Prince Street Pizza.
Oh,
yeah,
that's my favorite.
It was a great.
You had it for the first time?
I did. I was going to ask, is there a different white cheese in that deep dish one?
I'm not sure. I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure what it is.
I think it may have been
Sometimes they put
jizz.
ricotta on there.
It might have been ricotta.
Isn't that a boat?
But it was it was fun. It's fun little walk around. Before we get too far away from the shout-outs, I do have some, guys.
Oh, yeah, let's hear your shout-out.
Do have some
is that
shout-outs.
sawing on the podcast?
No, you know what? I bet it's not because I listened to an episode recently and a helicopter went by and we all talked about I couldn't hear the helicopter at all.
Okay, all right.
So I think that song.
Did you like or comment?
Did you subscribe?
I subscribe.
That was a fucking leaf
Now
blower
there's a
behind
guy
us.
mowing
it's
over
crazy.
here. Mm-hmm.
So
this is bananas.
We're one day into this podcast being released. I don't know if you guys remember last week. I came out pretty anti you guys rooting for the Dodgers. Okay,
yeah, I remember.
I think you both are front running bandwagon pieces of shit. Is what I believe I said. So I got my boy Steve Smolin over here on the Patreon. He said, couldn't agree more with Alex on all the fandom stuff. If you're going to like a new team because you move cities, you've got to publicly renounce your old team. A huge part of the enjoyment of watching your team finally win is all the disappointment you've dealt with watching them not win. Great pod, guys. He included that at the end.
There are 30 other teams that I'm not actively rooting for. I don't have to denounce the Cardinals.
Let me ask you this question, Alex.
You have to.
We are going to a Dodgers game, the three of us.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers are playing
the Cubs.
The Rockies.
Uh-huh.
He hates the Cubs.
Oh, the Cubs.
Yeah.
So you hate the Cubs.
Who are you cheering for?
I'm just enjoying the game of baseball. I'm not cheering for either team.
I would
ideally cheer for somebody.
I don't have to cheer for anybody.
It's more fun to watch you.
I can marvel at the athletic achievement of both teams, and I can recognize
you're
professional
never clapping.
greatness.
I swear, I wish I had video. I know I've seen you clap for the Dodgers.
No, you wouldn't. You've maybe seen me. Everybody clap your hands. Maybe I'll get in on that, but I'm not clapping for them.
No, I've seen
I'm
it.
Clapping for Mookie Betts hitting a double in the middle of the bottom of the fourth. Not doing that.
What if you're just like in Baltimore, and the Orioles are playing the Cubs?
Yeah, I'll root for the Orioles.
That's all we're talking about.
What?
You're willing to give in.
No.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense.
No. Because here's what we're talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
And here's the thing I realized.
Home team.
Here's the thing I realized driving away that night is that Andy and I are talking about two different things. Andy and I are not the same. Andy is a guy who's not a passionate. Andy just likes going places and having a good time and just cheering and just living his life, which is fine. But Andy, I'm talking about fandom. I'm talking about being a fan of a team of which Andy is not. You are a fan of the St. Louis Cardinals, and for you to root for another National League team is a disgrace, and you should be embarrassed by what
I'm
you've done.
looking at it from 1,000 feet up and going, the whole thing's ridiculous. Why would I steal joy from myself?
Don't ask me
if the Cardinals play the Dodgers. I'm rooting for the Cardinals.
Don't ask me to rationalize something that is inherently irrational. I recognize that fandom is irrational and a little crazy, but that's what it is. That's what you've bought into. That's the game that you're playing, and you've done something that is irredeemable, in my opinion.
I can't believe
you should publicly apologize.
But now that you live in LA, just be a Dodgers fan too, and now you have two teams. You watch double the amount, double the fun.
Albert
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
On the
you
Dodgers.
can root for Albert Pujols' success, but not the Dodgers. You can root for him to get a hit in every loss they have.
When
That's
I saw
what
him
you
hit his
can do.
700th and 699th home run, I'm rooting for the Cardinals in that game.
I got no problem with how you handled that. I got no problem with how you handled that. I do have a big problem with you rooting for the Dodgers to win the World Series one day before they're set to clinch the World Series.
I was rooting for them in the entire playoffs because the Cardinals weren't there.
Okay, guy that just got loud about it one day before they won.
Dude, you should see my text threads. I was lighting up the Padres.
I actually got another one, but here I got Steve Smolin. Also, we talked about my bank, PNC Bank, and I tried to figure out what it was.
I think Steve Smolin is just Alex's burner account.
Steve Smolin wrote in and said, I looked on the internet, PNC stands for Post-Nut Clarity. So that's we got that. I'm going to run with that. But then, not to be outdone by Steve Smolin, I got my boy Jeff. I got my boy Jeff Byrne. My boy Jeff Byrne over here on Instagram. He says, Andy and Tommy clearly don't understand what it's like to be bitter sports fans. I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, and every time a Canadian team does well in the playoffs, there are so many bandwagoners who want the cup won by a Canadian team. But I will, quote, never cheer for another Canadian team in that context. I want the Leafs to be the first team to bring it back, and if that means failure for the rest of Canada or Canadian teams for another 50 years, so be it. And that's what I'm talking about.
Jeff doesn't even love his own country.
No, he loves the Maple Leafs that much. He loves the Maple Leafs that much. No, it's what it is, Andy. It's a little crazy. It's a little fucking stupid, but that's the game, boys. That's what it is.
Dude,
you don't get to just rants about picking whatever team's closest to victory.
You're saying that like you don't feel like I hate hate when the Cardinals lose. I hate that they sucked this year. I hate that they were not in it. They had like a month of being in
that's
it.
part of it. You
I
gotta
felt
sit in
every
that.
bit of it. I
You
felt
gotta
it all.
And that's all
but
you
then
get
the
to feel.
playoffs started.
No.
And I was just destroyed that the Cardinals weren't in it. And then I open my eyes and I see this little 9-year-old girl cheering for the Dodgers. And I go, she's having a hell of a time.
Yep.
Don't prop her up as your reason for your ticket to entry here. That's not.
This
that's
kid,
her thing. She can have that. And I got a big problem with that.
I'll tell you this:
also.
that kid came into this world with nothing, and I've watched her root for the twice in her entire life they've won the World Series, and one people say don't even count. She got no parade.
I may never get over the fact that she has won more championships in her life than I have in my fandom.
I think I'm at like all total with the teams I root for. I'm at 21 championships right now.
Unfucking believable.
I got 21. I need to get a shirt. Can I get one of those Kelsey mom shirts where it's half Dodgers, half Cardinals?
Cool. Oh my God,
that's really
cool. If you get that,
World Series.
that should disqualify from entry to all of the stadiums on that shirt. No one should let you in. You should be booed. They should throw popcorn at you. Unbelievable. Unreal is what I say. What else is on that there rundown there,
let's
Andy?
hear your what would you do?
Woo, boys, I'm running a marathon. You heard about this? I am running a marathon.
When is it? I should write it down.
It is November.
I think fucking hearing about a marathon is a marathon, not a sprint.
November 16th.
I will be out of the country.
It's about a week away. Well, Andy, I'll Skype you in. I don't know what time it's going to be, but I'll call you at the.
Where is it?
It's in Richmond, Virginia.
I keep forgetting. Oh God, Richmond, Virginia gave me IBS. What a shithole.
I don't want that. But still, I'm running. I got to do these training runs. It's about running a lot. You got to stay hydrated, boys. You got to be hydrated.
Sure.
Here's the thing about me. I'm
if
peeing.
you see the manager of the Funny Bone,
yep,
it was around 2008ish, let's say, maybe 10.
All right.
You tell him to fuck off.
You got it.
Okay.
I will.
If you just bump into that guy.
I'll say that to everyone who looks like they managed a Funny Bone.
You know what he looks like? This guy looks like a guy that ran a TGI Fridays, and then they just had him run a comedy club.
Anyone wearing suspenders is getting told to go fuck themselves. Now, I'm running a lot, and I'm peeing a lot in my regular life. But when I'm running,
these guys are just up there
I'm
working.
hydrating. I am peeing. I got to pee all the time. I'm drinking so much water. And a lot of times I got to pee.
You stopping on the runs or you going right in the pants?
So the thing is, the way I route these runs is I run by parks that got bathrooms in. I'll just stop there, go pee, and then I'll get going again. But this here last night I go on a run, all the park bathrooms closed. I get a little bit of a late jump on it. Closed bathroom. So here's my options as I'm out there running around because I have got to pee. I got to either go in an alley. I know there's one alley in the neighborhood where I can run. I've peed there before. I could go down there. I can pee in a porta potty that is in the front yard of someone's home because of the construction they're getting done. Or I can pee in my pants and just keep running. It is dark.
Okay.
Now, of those three options that I've just given you, you've got to go.
Which do we think he did?
Which do you do? Don't guess what I did. What do
I pee where I
you
peed
do?
before.
Huh?
I pee where I peed before.
I've peed in all three.
You've done all three?
I've done all three. So
what was the second one?
The second one, alley, porta potty in the front yard of someone's home who's being having construction done, or in your own pants. Now, what do you do
when you pee your pants? It's just running down your leg and you're still running?
Yeah, you're just running. I mean, you're sweaty, you're wet.
That seems like such a recipe for chafing.
I mean,
it's not great.
I made it, I think, not exaggerating, I was between 38 and 40 before I went to the bathroom in a porta potty for the first time in my life.
What?
And I was right for 38 to 40 years. I'm not fucking doing it again. You can't make me.
You got to go to more music festivals, my man. That's what you got to do.
If it was a porta potty anywhere other than someone's front yard, I would choose the porta potty. But someone's front yard feels very weird. I would do the alley.
You do the alley? Porta potty in the front yard, boys. And
do they live there?
Yeah, people live there. It's an active construction
I think you
site.
get arrested for that.
What do you do if
How's
they
it not
knock
locked?
on the door?
None of them are locked. There's a bunch of porta potties just on like the street and sidewalks of like, I'm running far. There's a lot of construction being done, and none of them are locked, which I thought was crazy. But
we had one out here when they were doing some construction. They'd lock it up.
Not this one. Anyone can pop in. Anyone can pee. I bet you could do your poops in there if you want to, but I'm going.
Urinals, technology has come a long way. porta potties rather. I like when they have a urinal in the porta potty.
Oh, I like that too.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I like
nah,
that too.
Dude.
It's to the left when you go in. You go in and there's the
look to the
hole
left.
where you can see everything. But to the left, there's a little funnel, and
This
you
is
just go in there.
It's a horrible story, but don't think about it too much, and it's not too bad if you think because the guy got caught. But do you remember when that guy like hid in a porta potty where just his face was looking out of the toilet?
No.
And he
What?
got arrested?
No.
Like
Is
at a
that
music
real?
festival or something.
No.
He was like catching all the shit and pee in his mouth. Just
Ew.
Was he into it? Is that what he wanted?
I think he wanted
I
to
don't think he
see
liked it.
ladies sitting down.
No, you don't want to see a lady sitting down that much. I think you're into getting
It's dark
peed
in
and
there.
or pooped on.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Guy
be able
hides
to
in
see.
porta
Because there's
potty.
pee and poop.
Oh,
in
he
there.
got 3 years in prison.
Oh man, there's no porta potties in
Boulder,
there.
Colorado. A man who hid in the tank of a porta potty at a yoga festival to spy on women has been sentenced to 3 years in prison and 10 years probation. Luke Crisco's sentence was handed down.
the Crisco family.
Blah, blah, blah. Is attempted unlawful sexual content. It's a gross guy. This guy sucks. Okay, here he goes. They arrested him at a yoga festival. Which I mean, I think
yoga festival.
I think just people really into yoga are probably taking some healthy, gross shit.
yeah.
They noticed something moving in the tank of the portable toilet, and then saw a feces-stained man emerge and run away.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Police say he was suspected in hiding in other bathrooms around Boulder to watch women use the toilet.
There's pee, there's poop in there. There's also all that blue water. That motherfucker came out there looking like Tobias Funke running around. Anybody? Tobias Funke, Arrested Development, and blew himself.
Right.
We got there. We got there.
You know, I've never seen the show.
You've never seen
Everything
Arrested
I've seen
Development?
makes me laugh, but
Oh
I've never
my
seen
God.
the
Seen
show.
it? This is one of those
I've seen
moments where
clips.
I'm jealous.
Are you
Yeah,
really?
You should
It's
watch it.
So good.
You got a flight coming up. Download
It's
the
so
first
good.
season.
Yeah, you download the first season, watch this whole thing.
Absolutely, you should do
On
that.
the internet?
God.
Yeah, you can download if you got. I believe it's on Netflix. You can download shows on Netflix. Are we telling you? Do you
Can
know
I do it
about
on my
this?
laptop?
I don't know if you can do it on your laptop, but you can do it on your phone.
You could probably
My
do it
phone.
on
and your
laptop.
iPad.
If you have the Netflix app on your laptop, you can do
Yeah.
it.
I'm trying to pack. I'm trying to do no checked bags, and I got that backpack Cotopaxi that our pal over here
Andy
recommended.
Woodhull.
Nice.
But then they got a little laptop sleeve, but the laptop sleeve goes right against my back. I'm just worried about snapping my laptop in half. I don't know, but
I've never had that trouble.
you slide it in the hole.
I put it in that hole, but I also put it in like a sleeve of its own.
My sleeve doesn't fit in the thing.
And the back is pretty rigid, so I don't think it could bend.
So now, if it doesn't do the laptop, I got to also bring an iPad.
Well, what do you got against your phone's huge? What do you got?
I'm not watching. This is a fucking tiny thing.
Just watch on your phone. What do I mean?
Mhm.
You watch
I'm not
videos on your phone
watching-
all the time.
I'm not watching a whole
I'm
ass
not
show
asking
on my
you to
phone.
watch Top Gun on your phone. It's Arrested Development.
I feel
It's a different
what I gotta
thing.
hold it the
Yeah, I
whole time.
think pack the iPad.
No, some
Pack the
planes
iPad.
have a little thing that you can put your phone
This
on the
is
seat.
ridiculous.
I mean, pack the iPad also. Yeah.
Pack the
Just
iPad.
Do the iPad.
Watch the show.
It's so much stuff.
I just watched all of Detroiters.
I'm working my way
Woo.
through. Very funny.
I like it a lot.
It's very
A lot.
funny.
A lot.
It's good.
I'm working my way through. If we're
And
talking,
as much as I loved it, as much as I laughed, it's not as funny as Arrested Development.
No way.
dude,
I'm
Arrested
telling you,
Development has some
Arrested
of the hardest.
Development is like top 3 greatest sitcoms of all time.
Really?
in my
the
opinion.
original season
Better than The Nanny?
Well, I said top 3. I didn't say
Oh,
number
right,
one.
right.
Yeah, it's got some of the hardest I've ever laughed at a television show
Yeah.
in Arrested Development.
And it's a good first season. I mean, I sound like a
I think it's the first
lunatic
2
to people.
seasons.
But
I think there were 3 that aired on Fox, and the first 2 are fantastic.
so there's
All are
another.
great.
Wait, there's another all-time comedy that I haven't seen. I thought it was going to come to me in this moment. Shitballs. No, there's another one that's like that. That everyone's like, it's great. It was a network show. I just didn't catch it.
I don't know.
I was gonna have us pick between the two.
What's your top 3s?
Parks and Rec?
Parks and
Parks
Rec.
and
Yeah.
Rec. You've never seen Parks and Rec?
No.
Parks and Rec's also
pretty
very good. Yeah.
I go top 3. Seinfeld, Arrested Development, Veep. That's my all-time top 3.
Comedies?
Oh shit, hard not to put 30 Rock in there.
Oh yeah.
Top 4, 30 Rock's also in there.
Mm-hmm. I'll go The Office, Cheers, and maybe 30 Rock. Office, Cheers, 30 Rock is what I'll say.
Can I ask a question before we do this?
Mhm.
Are we talking Can I say something that I haven't done a rewatch? I haven't seen in years. I just was like, oh, this is it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to have watched it.
No, but like I haven't seen it in
That's fine.
years.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Something that like I don't know. I'm not gonna go in order because I don't have to think about it too much. I'm putting Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Wow.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is going to my top 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Extras. Trying to vary the things here. Yeah. Extras. I want to put Veep, but you put Veep. I want to put Veep. I'm just gonna put Veep.
Veep is so funny.
Veep is funny. Early seasons of Curb might get in there for me.
I mean, you're going. I mean, I'm going Seinfeld. I didn't get to list. Modern Family. Most of Modern Family. There's towards the end, it became like, hey, we've been doing this for 10 years. Modern Family. I'm saying new coming to the list. Abbott Elementary. That's an all timer.
That's very good.
I swear to God, you guys gotta. It's an all timer.
I've not watched it.
South Park.
Are we doing animated?
I mean, we throw animated.
King of the Hill. If we're doing animated,
I mean, it's television.
It's totally different game.
It's comedic. You know, I don't know what you want from me here, guys. Well, before we get going, here's another show you should download. I just watched it. The Comeback on Netflix about the Boston Red Sox.
Kim Kardashian
defeating the New York Yankees.
You seen that blooper?
2004. I have not seen it, but check it out. Very good.
The blooper for Parks and Rec. I've seen all the bloopers of Parks and Rec, and I've never seen one full episode of the show.
Mm-hmm.
The bloopers are some of the best. There's an episode where they're doing comeback stories, and Chris Pratt's character is there with his Aubrey Plaza, I think, plays his girlfriend. Maybe is that her?
Yeah.
And they're there, and he goes, they were listing comeback stories, and he goes, Kim Kardashian. And they go, I don't know. And he goes, no, I saw the video. I think she got cum on her back. And everyone loses it. And I think they were just allowed to riff on that show.
What's upsetting about Chris Pratt is that he stopped doing comedy. There's one of the best jokes on that show, and the hardest I've laughed is there's an episode where Amy Poehler's character is feeling sick, and they're trying to figure out what's wrong with her. And so Chris Pratt's character jumps on the computer to WebMD. He's like, I'm on it. And then he goes, all right, according to WebMD, it says you have network connectivity issues.
Have you heard the story of that?
He riffed that. That was just
Have you heard the Mike Schur talking about that?
Yeah, I heard about it. But pretty great.
I've heard Mike Schur is a great dude to work with.
I'd love to meet him.
But sometimes he seems annoying.
For sure. Yeah. As a fan of his and a guy who's listened to him on a lot of podcasts. Yeah.
What do you guys think is more creepy? This guy that was in the porta potties, or this other guy who I learned about while I was researching stories earlier today for the Patreon podcast? That
Where are you going to burn a story?
No, because it didn't happen in the year I was born. In the 1980s, this guy got arrested because he was going around Southern California colleges and painting ladies' nails under tables.
What?
He would drop something on the ground, be like, oops, and then he would go under the table and paint their nails. It said most of the women didn't notice he was doing anything until they noticed what was on their feet.
Can I say something a little controversial?
Yeah.
I'm fine with this. I got no problem with this.
You don't find that creepy at all?
It's weird, but I don't know that this guy should be
nails?
A criminal. I don't.
What if he's doing colors that aren't their color?
I mean, then that's not cool. But I don't think we should be putting this guy on trial and prosecuting.
I mean, you gotta really not be in a moment to not notice someone painting your nails.
You want to know what they were calling him? What they were calling him in the story in the Los Angeles Times?
I'd love to know.
Leonardo de Toneo.
That's pretty good.
Oh, he's painting their feet?
Pretty good.
Painting their feet, yeah.
Did you think hands?
I thought hands too.
I thought hands.
Feet. Well, how could you paint the hands without them knowing?
How could you paint the feet without them knowing? I mean, it's still part of their body.
Yeah. I mean,
sneaking under tables.
Now that I know it's feet, I'm more okay with it. It's further away from that. Like, it feels further away from their actual bodies, even though it is part of their bodies. I'm okay with it painting their toenails. I think this guy should be allowed to live his life.
I don't think it was a good job, though. I think if he could finish and they're like, oh my God, my nails. But there's no way. It's got to be sloppy because he's doing it at a thing to try to not let them know.
Yeah, if these ladies would stop being fucking weird about it, you could maybe do a good job.
They were mostly mad that he cut the tops of their shoes off.
Yeah, that you can be upset about. That's vandalism. But find me the law that says you can't go around painting ladies' toenails quickly under tables.
I've told you a story where I don't know. I don't know that this person's with us anymore, so maybe I don't tell it's a hometown story.
All right. Well, why don't you tell us a story about you hitting on a man?
Yeah, I've been taking these hikes a lot.
Mhm.
I've been going on these hikes a lot.
Mhm.
So this is not the accident. I accidentally hit on a dude, but this is not that story. I was on this hike yesterday. I come up a hill. I'm going around a bend. You know what I mean? And there's a guy at the top of the bend there. He's eyeballing me.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he's eyeballing me. And I'm like, his dog's running towards me and then stops. I'm like, it's a cute dog. I'm gonna get some pets. But this guy's eyeballing me in a way that I'm like, can you just fucking make a move? Phil Froggy jump. You know what I mean?
This? Yeah.
So I'll topple down this whole mountain with you.
Bow up on you.
But I get up there and then there's two gals around the bend. He's like, they call the dog over, and I realize this is a lost dog. And the guy, I was like, oh, what, we got a lost one? He's like, yeah, no owners. These gals get down, they read the collar, they get on the phone. I keep walking. Every bit of me wanted to hang around to see where the dog looked healthy, but I'm like, I hope they find an owner.
Here's my theory. Owner had a heart attack somewhere up the trail. Anyone else thinking that? Anyone else go there right away? That's my theory before we know how it
fun part
ends.
is I know how this ends, so you got a theory, toss it out.
I go heart attack up the trail.
My theory, owner lets the dog loose, has the dog trained to find hot girls.
Oh, good theory. More
wait a
fun
second.
theory.
I got two dogs. Didn't know you could train them to do that.
Good theory.
Here's what happens. So I see them. They're calling every one of these three people. I would put them at the top of the list of people you'd want to find your dog if your dog got away. They're so considerate. They're giving it water. They're giving it food. They're a little treat to get it over. They're petting it. They're reading the collar. The guy's eyeballing people to make sure. I continue the hike. I think that story's over. I'm never going to do it. Then up in front of me, a decent amount of way.
Decent.
A ways away. I'm like far away from this dog. I've continued the hike. I've gone up and down and around and around. I see this gal coming at me. She's attractive, and I say that plays into the story because there's just an attitude that an attractive woman is allowed to have. I come up. She's got a leash draped around her shoulders, and she's on AirPod Maxes on the phone.
Yeah.
And before I hear the words, I can tell she's being a dick. So I walk up, and as we're getting closer, I hear her go, "Just put him down. I'm coming. Just put him down." And I'm like, oh, so this gal let her dog off the leash. And it is, because I know how far this trail is, I'm saying no less than a half a mile ahead of her.
Wow.
It's so far from her.
Yeah.
And she's just there on her hike with her headphones and the leash. And also, I think, I don't know, I think you're supposed to leash the dogs there.
You're supposed to leash the dogs.
I got stopped one time having the dog off the leash.
No idea what's going on with the dog. People are kind enough to call her, and just by the fact that when I reached her that she was on the phone, I do think it means that she had ignored calls from and now she's finally answered, so they're still there, and she's being a dick to them, and she's like, just put them down.
I think you
I'm
get
on
her
my
dog.
way. I'm almost there.
I think we get all the people there.
Yeah,
we just get to who wants it the most.
Take
you get the dog.
Away.
Yeah, we got to find this dog a new home, a better home. That's fucked up. I wonder if she at any point thought that, like, I wonder before you got there, she was actively looking for her dog.
Yeah, nervous.
Then she
must not have been. Though.
New people found her.
No way.
Then, I mean, I don't
her
know.
routine must just be let the dog go as far as it wants ahead of her, and then they meet up at the end.
The part of the story that I didn't clock until I clocked it was, the dog. I didn't recognize the dog, but I recognized when I saw her, I was like, oh, I've seen her. And then I was like, oh yeah, I've seen her with this dog, not on the leash before. And the first time I saw her, it was closer, but also people stopped because they thought a dog had gotten loose. So I have seen her on a hike, have a loose dog. It caused a commotion. Still, I think she must go out there multiple times a week let this dog off, and at least a couple times people are like, whose dog is this? And then she has the attitude of like, it's my, why does everybody keep doing it? Like, it's my dog, just leave him alone. It's like, because it's fucking loose in the wilderness.
It's a not safe for the dog. Up until like a year ago, there's a fucking mountain lion living in that park.
I stepped over a snake the other day. I walk in and I see a snake and I go, gah, and I make a noise and I jump out of the way. And then I'm face to face with these two women, and I go, that one got me. It was too little. It's too little for me to do that. And they were like, it's still a snake. They were nice.
I ever tell you guys when I found my neighbor's dog at the beach?
No.
So my neighbor, her dog loves to run away.
The one that comes into your house?
Yeah, he comes in the house. Sometimes this dog loves to run away. His name's Chomsky.
If people don't know, we just clarify that a dog lives in Andy's complex that just will run into Andy's apartment, which is
come in like if the door's open.
Just comes into Andy's apartment.
He comes in, yeah. There's a couple dogs.
Does Darwin like him?
No, Darwin is indifferent to most other dogs. Although Darwin's been into dogs a little bit lately.
Not mine.
It's like living with Kramer, but a dog, who is just like comes into your apartment.
Bursts in. There's this greyhound that lives in the building now that comes in sometimes. Cute dog, this greyhound.
What if you fully animated Seinfeld, redid it, but with dogs?
What with dogs?
Sold it.
Easy. Sounds like the best show I ever
saw. Do people sell it?
Easy
people
pitch. I mean, the pitch is right there.
It's Seinfeld, but dogs.
Seinfeld, but dogs.
So one time, I'm
Bleep
at the beach.
We're doing it.
I'm at the beach, and I see little Chomsky at the beach, and I was like, oh no, he got out and he came all the way to the beach, and I scoop him up, and then I hear a guy yell at me, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, it's my neighbor's dog. I'm just gonna take it home. Because that's my dog. It wasn't my neighbor.
It was Dave Wade?
Chomsky?
it wasn't Chomsky. It was a dog that looked a lot like Chomsky.
You look like a dog.
I just look like a dog now.
Was he mad at you? Or did he get it?
No, we laughed about it eventually.
Were you wearing that handbook?
I mean, he was mad when it looked like I was stealing his dog.
Yeah, people don't like that.
But after I was like, I'm so sorry. My neighbor has the same kind of dog, and it runs away a lot.
Did you have that big net and that Hamburglar mask like you usually wear to the beach? That's probably part of the confusion.
Yeah.
I did this hike the other day. I'm finishing the hike. I'm sweating, dirty. I got mud on my face, and dirt in my teeth. Disgrace. Yeah. And as I'm coming down the hill, you know how you see the parking lot? So I just see this guy who has his shirt off, and he's like a fucking statue. He just is ripped, jacked, fit, all the things, and as I'm coming, it's like he's just there. So
I've been wondering why you didn't say hi to me.
I can't. I always said hi to this guy. I can't not look at this guy as I'm coming down. He's just. Did you push a fucking button?
I hit the crickets again. I'm sorry, Andy. I got a bad habit of cricketing you after a good bit, and I do apologize for that.
Don't do another one. We're not doing it. I can't tell if you even pushed it.
I had a rim shot. I got a rim shot there.
So I don't think is seeing me because he's in the parking lot, but I'm walking down, and it's a thing where like like your face when you just kind of rest straight, you're looking forward. He's just in my. So the whole time I'm looking at him as I'm coming down, and just as we get close, I feel like I've been looking at him the whole time. I should just say something. Yeah. So I go, hey man, if you're gonna walk around here looking like that, we just gotta come at different times. Meaning like I'm fat and gross and you're hot. I don't want to be close to you. Then he goes, or we could just come together. And I go, all right. Yeah, we can. And then then I go and I stretch after, and when I'm coming down there, he's getting into his car. When I go to stretch, he opens his back door. He pulls the thing out. He turns his.
Does he?
He opened his back door. He turns his radio on. I tried to find this song on Reddit, but they wouldn't let me do it because they didn't do the forum right or something. But he turns this song so loud on his car, and then leans like his hand is on he's on a Jeep type thing. His hand is on the top, and he's facing away from me. But he keeps like looking back over his shoulder, and the song is blaring. Now, hanging with the boys. It's some version. There's lyrics in it that are like it's sexually suggestive. I tried to find the song, but the song is sexually suggestive. But so I stand there. Now I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I'm like, I'm fully at fault here.
Well, you're stretching your little butt out.
I'm stretching my bottom at him. The whole thing's going on. So he keeps playing songs, and I just go like, I'm just gonna stretch. He was leaving, so I'm just gonna stretch until he leaves. So then it goes on, and I'm like, I think he's waiting for me to. I think I'm waiting for him to leave, and he's waiting for me to walk back over there.
He's waiting for you to meet him behind that tree. All those people.
So it goes on long enough. He turns the song on. He does it, and he's doing. I mean, on it's because it's fresh on our brains. The Dumb and Dumber, where he goes, "I'll just stay here and put out the vibe," where he sticks his ass out. He does a version of that. He's looking over his shoulder. He turns towards me. He's stretching, and I mean, he's jacked. I'm like, I mean, if I have to fuck a guy, it's not the worst one in the world.
Keep you safe from those snakes on your next hike.
So it goes on long enough that then I finally I'm going to start moving over. I got to go back to my car. I get in my car, and then he gets into his truck, and then there is like a nice goodbye. And then he's like, I'll see you next time type. And then I don't make any moves. But there was a decent amount of time when I was stretching where I was like, I think we're gonna have to get into the fact that I was just being nice and not flirtatious.
That's what you're gonna say. I think we're gonna have to
kiss this guy goodbye.
You're gonna be rude.
So you give him your solid opening line.
Yeah,
I mean,
nice
great
line.
opening line.
Is that a good pickup line?
Great pickup line. And then he comes over the top rope and gives you even an better response. I mean, if this is Tinder or a dating app, you guys,
pretty romantic.
Definitely, you're full.
I mean, nobody meets in real life anymore. I feel like I just squandered one.
But what do you say when he volleys it back to your way with his line? We come at the same time. You just keep it moving.
I go, oh yeah.
What if instead you go, I doubt it. I usually come first.
Hey, whoa, look at here. All right. What I get you? I got you chimes on that one.
Can I tell you, and two things are at play here. Part of me is too insecure to think that this hot guy would want a piece of this.
Yeah.
But the other part of me thinks if I had said I usually come first, I think we're fucking in that parking lot.
Oh yeah.
I think this guy,
and you get a nice laugh too, probably.
Maybe this guy's just real into pieces of shit.
I think you scroll misconnections because I think he made one for you. If you hit him with that line.
Have you ever scrolled I had a thing one time in real life that was such a real thing that I got on misconnections. I was like, she's got to also, I mean, we got to find each other. This is years ago. But
I think I've said it before. Maura has been the subject of a misconnection on Craigslist. Someone, when she was serving at Go Bananas, someone went, I was so-and-so, you were the server at Go Bananas. I didn't.
Wow.
How did we find this?
Someone sent it to her.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Big day.
She ever meet that guy?
Oh, they're engaged. Yeah.
It was you?
It was not me. She's doing dueling engagements.
That's fun.
Oh, that's rare these days.
Which one? Yeah, which one's going to pan out to be the best
exciting.
Time? That Sam Evans ever text you back, Andy?
No, he didn't. We doing it on the podcast?
I just haven't thought about it in a second.
Here's where we are.
A thread that popped up without me.
It's everybody's stressing out. If the dates don't get locked in, it's going to be less attendance.
Text him right now. I mean, send him a text
I'll
right
text
now.
him right now.
Well, actually, tell everybody where you're going to be, and then text him.
You can catch me in the Middle East if you're in the military. I'll be there this month, and then next month I'm going to be in Portland, Lincoln City, Oregon, also Appleton, Wisconsin, all next month.
Get into it. Get on it. Goodbye.
See.